The T-Rex and Plesiosaur surprisingly became good friends. Their meeting originated from an accident. Hart accidentally fell off a cliff, almost drowning in the sea. Bello saved him. They quickly became friends. At first, Hart concealed his true identity. He showed Bello the wonders of land that he had never seen before, while Bello introduced Hart to the colorful underwater world. This was the first friend Hart had made since becoming an adult, until Hart saved Bello from a blue dragon's mouth. Only then did Bello learn Hart's true identity. But Bello wasn't afraid. He still considered Hart his best friend. They thought life would continue this way forever. But one day Bello suddenly brought bad news. The hatching mountain, where Dragon Mother lived, was about to be destroyed. Although Hart was worried about his mother, he was afraid of how she would react to his current appearance. Bello encouraged him, saying no mother would reject her own child, just like him and Pikachu. Finally, Hart gathered his courage, and set off on the journey home with Pikachu. However, as soon as they reached the plains, Hart encountered Gonza. Gonza had always been dissatisfied with how Bart handled things. Now that Hart was back, it was time to settle their old grudge. A battle was imminent, but in just one round, Gonza lay defeated on the ground. He was no match for Hart. Near death, Gonza maliciously told Pikachu that Hart wasn't really his father, trying to drive a wedge between them, just as he had tried to provoke Hart earlier. However, Pikachu said that regardless, Hart would always be his father. Then Hart burst into the herbivorous dinosaurs gathering place. Everyone thought he was there to slaughter, but he had actually come to rescue them. He searched through the dragon herd for his mother and brother, Light. That's when Light recognized him as the long-lost Hart. Hart told Light they needed to evacuate everyone immediately, but he couldn't find their mother. The hatching mountain was about to be destroyed. The forest had become an inferno. Hart worried about his mother and brother's safety, risking the wrath of all T-Rexes. He had to enter the plains again. After many years apart, his brother Light had changed dramatically. The brothers didn't recognize each other at first. Hart prepared to lead Dragon Mother away, but Light insisted that compared to their mother, the clan needed him more. Hart ignored Light. He headed straight through the dinosaur herd toward Dragon Mother's location with Pikachu. The ground tremors grew stronger. Lava from the mountaintop was rapidly flowing down. Hart ran while calling out for Dragon Mother. Childhood memories came flooding back, perhaps due to the maternal bond. Dragon Mother seemed to hear Hart's voice in her daze. She walked out of her nest to see Hart, out of breath, across from her. Mother immediately recognized her former son. Hart quickly ran to his long unseen mother. He hugged her tightly. Hart feared his mother would reject who he had become, but Mother said Hart would always be her sweet son. After a brief reunion, Hart urged his mother to leave with him. The volcano was about to erupt. They couldn't stay any longer. Dragon Mother called the little ones from the cave to meet their brother. Hart hadn't expected his mother to have more siblings. Then he also introduced Pikachu to Dragon Mother. As they were running, Dragon Mother accidentally slipped and fell off a cliff. Fortunately, Hart grabbed her in time, but T-Rex's forelimbs were naturally underdeveloped. Even though Hart had specifically trained them, it was extremely difficult at this moment. Just as Hart was feeling utterly desperate, his body was pulled back. Light had come to help. Dragon Mother was finally saved, thanks to Hart's earlier warning. The dinosaur herd was willing to leave, which allowed Light to come back for them. The family hurriedly headed toward the plain.